Traumatic bonding. 5 signs that you are in a trauma bond with a toxic person and how to break free. Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over traumatic bonding. Now, traumatic bonding occurs as a result of ongoing cycles of abuse that is reinforced by reward and punishment. It creates very strong emotional bonds between individuals that are extremely resistant to change. Now, a trauma bond is similar to Stockholm Syndrome. And what that is where someone who's being held captive against their will creates emotions, feelings of trust and affection for the very people that captured them, that are basically keeping them hostage. That's pretty much what it is between a narcissist and their partner, which is most commonly known as the codependent. Now, in the beginning of the relationship, the codependent is receiving the love from the narc. Okay, they are receiving the attention and the affection, and that's the whole honeymoon period. But over time, that will diminish. Once that diminishes, that's when the abuse immediately begins. The mental, emotional, and in some cases physical abuse. Now, the codependent understands the dynamics of everything has changed, but they're trying to figure out a way to fix it. They're trying to figure out a way to understand what it is they did wrong and that they can try to fix it and regain their loving partner again. Now, if the codependent manages to break free from it, what generally happens is that the narcissist will be able to lure them back in with other manipulative tactics. And if the codependent comes back in, that's when the cycle begins all over again. Only each time after that, if they keep coming back, they keep going back into the relationship, the cycles keep going, but the abuse gets worse and becomes more destructive. So without further ado, I'm going to give you the 5 signs that you or someone you know is in a trauma bond with a toxic person and how to break free from it. Sign number 1. You know the person is deceptive and conniving, but for some reason you just can't seem to let go. Now, you can be a rational person, you can be discerning. Hell, you can even see through the manipulative tactics that are being used. Okay, you know that they unjustly mistreated you. They violated you. They lied to you. They hurt you. But the minute they show you kindness, the minute they show you a sense of remorse, you doubt yourself. In that period of doubt, the abuser is gaslighting you yet again into believing that they have your best interest at heart. That's just a way to lure you back in. And once you go back into it, once you go back to that cycle, the abuse starts again. Only this time it gets worse. Yet whenever you decide to break free from this toxic person, they throw you crumbs, affection, attention. They're nice to you. You think you're going to get the full loaf. I'm sorry to say, but you're not. Sign number 2. You do any and everything to please them because you're loyal to a fault, only for them not to give you anything in return but pain. So despite the fact that time after time after time they've hurt you, you've already lost grasp of reality. You become so accustomed to the abuse that at some point you're even thinking maybe they'll change. You're always ready and willing to take them back after the slightest hint of remorse and attention. Even when people try to give you a healthy reality check about the person, you just don't want to face the truth. Because over time, those cycles, that bond, just got stronger. Sign number 3. You feel addicted to them and you lose far more than you gain. You develop an addiction to the person that is not only psychological, but it's biochemical and physiological. You lose sleep energy, time, trying to explain yourself to them, trying to get them to see your perspective of things, trying to get them to reciprocate your efforts, or simply trying to get them to just stop hurting you. And you pretty much spend an enormous amount of emotional labor trying to make the person a decent human being, failing to recognize that they just may be incapable of changing. Sign number 4. You're driven to the brink of self-destruction. Now, toxic people drive you to destroy yourself. It's like psychological murder, but with clean hands. If you're in a toxic trauma bond, your self-worth, your self-esteem, it'll all take a big hit. Self-sabotage becomes an automatic reflex for you because you see you're programmed to harm yourself because you're conditioned to believe that you're not worthy of having peace and safety. You just basically develop a sense of helplessness, and that's something that just pretty much lingers on within you throughout its time. So even if you have other choices or options, you find yourself unable to or unwilling to take them because that would mean cutting the cord with the toxic person that you're tethered to. And sign number 5. You forget your worth or your value, and you're willing to lower your standards for the toxic person time after time again. So where you were once confident and self-assured, you knew your value, you knew your worth, this person, the toxic person or the toxic persons, made you feel like you weren't worthy. You weren't worthy of affection, attention, love, or respect. And you therefore have been made to feel invisible, pushed to compete with others for their approval, or used for their benefit. And as a result of all of that, you lowered your standards and expectations for what constitutes as a healthy relationship. So guys, now that we've gone over the 5 major signs that you or someone you know is in a trauma bond with a toxic person, just want to give you a few key things on what you can do to break free from it. The first thing is separation. Separation is key. Physical and emotional separation. Physical separation is a lot easier, but once you're able to accomplish that, the emotional separation will follow. Now, if you share children with the toxic individual, the best method would probably be gray rock. And gray rock is where you have very limited contact with the person. Doesn't go anywhere beyond the children, and you set certain times and time frames to communicate with the individual. The next would be acknowledging your choices. Okay, if you're able to break free from the bond itself, coaching and therapy is very, very useful. Okay, it can help you see through the manipulation. It can help you actually make conscious choices, and that you know what to do and what not to do when it comes to the individual or individuals. All right. The best way is to seek professional help because they can help you maneuver through what it is you have to go through in order to be able to completely break free from it. And the next suggestion is developing a support network. As a codependent, if you're breaking free from a narcissist, understand they are going to try certain tactics to try to lure you back in. And it's always best to have a support group so you can stay strong with it. Okay, you don't want to go back to that type of abuse. You don't want to go to that type of mistreatment or behavior. You want to have a normal and healthy and caring relationship, which is what you deserve. So definitely look into support networks. Definitely look into other people who have experience with narcissistic abuse and any other type of toxic relationships. So guys, that is my time. I do hope that this was helpful. I do hope that this is helping someone, anyone who's going through the experience. It's not a very easy thing to break from, especially if you've gone through the cycles with the same individual over and over and over again, because in time it did get stronger. So if you have any questions, any feedback, I am always open for it all. As you all know, I always appreciate the support. I appreciate the extra stride of confidence that I'm able to put behind this. And I just really hope that I was able to help, if not a lot of people, at least one person who's going through it and is looking to make a change in their life. So I hope you all have a great night. Wish you all the best. I'll be working on my next video. Much love and peace, and namaste.